back to another chapter in this Build a Megazord series. Now last time we did see the completion of 2 heads, so we did have a Megazord head and the Sabertooth Tiger head. Lesson learned for this episode, check that the batteries actually work before you put them in. I can't for the life of me get this apart because I can't get this top bit off. So unfortunately the lights only work when the USB's plugged in for some reason. If I do try and turn it on, it just kind of does, well, nothing. It does come with spare batteries, so if you find that they don't work, obviously you can use those. But yeah, I can't open this now anyway, so that's kind of done for the lights of this one, unfortunately. But in today's video, we do have numbers 9 to 19. It does come with a little freebie. So in this package, we got a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger mug, which looks pretty cool. And it also came with part of the light up stand. I don't think we're going to be putting this together today. I think we're going to have to end up waiting for the whole lot, and maybe we'll add that in the final video. So obviously this one comes with a ton of stuff, lots of different magazines. The first one, it does just show us it's number 1 of how to build the base. So as I said, I'm going to leave that until the end because I don't think there's any point on the hoarding part of the base. So I'm just going to leave it in the box and leave it alone. So first up's number 9. I'm not quite sure what these bits are for, but I'm pretty sure they're feet for the Sabertooth Tiger by the looks of it. And then we've got our magazine for number 9. Inside we've got some information about Alpha 5 and a little bit about the Tickle Sneezer. Number 10, we've got some more continuing on with the Sabertooth Tiger. And inside there we've got some information about the Mastodon as well as Nasty Knight. Number 11, again, more feet for the other side. And then inside this magazine we have got some bits about Kimberly and some more information about the terrifying pine octopus. I don't remember this, to be honest, but saying it's from episode 11, so a lot more information about the episode as you go through the magazine. Number 12, we are going to start the Mastodon head, so that's pretty exciting. It looks massive. So yeah, it's going to be really cool to be able to get that going. Inside the magazine, we've got information about the power weapons and the terrifying toad. Number 13, we're going to continue with the Mastodon head, so you can see we've got some ears there. This one's more information on more Zords, so this is the Triceratops sword, and then you've got Madame Woe in there as well, so that's cool. Number 14 is just continuing the Mastodon head, and inside there we've got bio of Billy, and then our monster for that week is Snizzard. Number 15 is a nice small part, so just some electronics there. And inside this magazine, there's some info on magic potions and spells, some of the bad guys. Number 16, more aimed at the Mastodon again. This one gives some really nice information on the Tyrannosaurus sword. Number 17, nice easy one, we've got some trunks. Here's our magazine. We've got some information about Tommy, so all you Tommy Oliver fans, this is the one to be reading. Number 18, we've got the electronics for the Mastodon. And inside, we've got some information on the youth centre. And lastly, we're going to start off the Triceratops. And inside the magazine, we've got some bits about the Sabertooth Tiger and little information about Scorpina. We do also get a spare battery, so make sure you keep hold of that because, as you can see, my one really needed it and I definitely should have tested it before I'd sealed it all together, but whatever. In this video, I'm going to try and make it a little bit shorter than the last one, so I'm just going to skip the screw tightening parts because this is going to be a really long video, otherwise we have got plenty of bits to do today. So I'm going to switch you around and we'll get into it, and if you enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, starting with number 9, so we've got a Sabertooth Tiger front left leg. These are all the bits that we're looking for. Here's our tray of goodies. I'm going to try and shorten these videos down, like I said, because this is just going to take forever otherwise, but I'm only going to skip like the tightening the screws, so don't worry too much. We're going to get straight into this video. Okay, so we've got these 2 bits. You want to make sure that just the flat bit is at the top, and then find the right way around for it to go. Then we're going to grab our foot, turn that upside down, and that should just hook easily in there like so. Then you want the other side, and we're going to put that in and then just put a screw in there. Then taking this bit and grabbing the wheel that we made last time, we're just going to line up these 2 and put that together and attach our foot to the bottom. And once we've done that, we just want to grab the same for the other side, push that on, and then tighten down our screws in those. Now we've tightened down them screws, we're just going to grab this little square bit and somehow try and stick that in. And finally finish it off by plugging in your little round bit And we should be left with one leg and a little bung for it. So number 9 is finished. Let's move on to number 10. Okay, so here is number 10. We have seen this before. We've done it in the previous video. This is just going to make the wheel part of the Sabertooth Tiger leg. So to start off with, we want to grab this little metal bit. We want to make sure the flatter bit is at the top, not the round bit. If you do need help, you can push it down against the table like I did, and it went all the way in. And once we've done that, we're going to turn it over and line it up with our wheel, like so, and then we're just going to put the screws in these 2 holes. Once we've done that, we're just going to slot these 2 together, like so, and then attach it like that, and put our screw in the middle. Finally, for number 10, we're just going to line this up with the holes and use the remaining screws to attach the back part of the wheel. Okay, on to number 11. We're going to be continuing with the foot, so we're going to keep the part that we've just made along with the new tray and make a start with that. And again, we're just going to be doing what we've done before. So we want to grab this and just connect those 2 together. Then we're going to grab the front part of our foot, and again, exactly the same as what we've done last time. Hook that inside, grab the cover of the bottom of the foot and insert there, and then we're just going to put our screw inside. Then we're going to connect them together using this, so we want to make sure this bit's pointing down so you know you've got the correct one. Line those up and just insert that in. And if you find that when you've got it sort of sitting like that because of the position you've put this metal bit, you can turn it, so you want to keep that little bit inside the gap, and then you can just close that. So now it's able to move freely, and we can finally connect our foot. So we just push that together and finishing it off by attaching this and then inserting our screws into these 2 holes. Then we want to plug in our square and our circle. And finally, we are left with this. This is what we're looking for, and this really does show how big it's going to be. You can see just the front of the face there, going to be a nice size. It's a nice matte black with a nice yellow on it, so that's cool. And to start with, these are the bits that we want, and we just simply want to attach them together using some of the screws provided. Then we want to grab our white part and place that inside like so, along with the logo, and secure it inside with a screw. Okay, next up, we're just going to grab this and place it on that way around with the red bit at the bottom. Then taking our sensor, making sure this white bit is at the top, placing it over like so, and then we're just going to tighten it down with some screws. Now that's all tightened down, we're going to grab some eyeballs. We're going to cover the eyes with these, so if you're not sure which one goes where, you can see the little lip lines up, but it does say left and right on them though. And then once you've got them in place, your eyes shouldn't move too much, and we're going to just tighten that down with some more screws. And completing number 12, we are started off our Mastodon head. Continuing on with our Mastodon head into number 13, these are the parts that we're looking for, which we've got here in our tray. And we're going to start off by just taking the 2 parts of the ears. And obviously you want part of the tusks here to look down, so if you know that they're at the bottom, you're going the right way. On the back, we've got some holes for some screws, so we're just going to plop them in quickly. So far, I'm really enjoying doing this. The only downside to this, which I would suggest, if you're making a start with this and you happen to see this before, do replace a screwdriver with one that you've got at home, because they're really not good. It does just seem to be munching, and considering the screwdriver's taking the brunt compared to the screws, it's really not good. Yeah, we're not even halfway through yet and I'm already needing a new screwdriver. And you can hear it just sort of skipping as you go round. And to finish off this magazine, we are just going to push these bits inside. And now he's got some ears. We're getting through this pretty quickly today, so we're on to number 14 now. We're going to be putting together the trunk for the Mastodon head. And to start with, we're going to need these. So this one, you need a little round bit on the end. And we are just going to place it into the larger slot like so. And then grab our little metal piece here. And that just goes in the middle. Once you've got that in, we want to grab the other part. And you'll know which one goes to which, because obviously they're different sizes. So put those together and put another metal part in the middle. And lastly, we want to do the same again here. Now we've completed the base of the trunk, we want to just attach these little bits to make it look nice. So they just push on like so. Then once you've done that, we want to do the same for the other side. If you've got these bits at the bottom here, you want to make sure these squares are at the top so it all lines up properly together. Then we grab our top piece and it's just going to clip on the top of there like so. And lastly for the trunk, we just clip that on the end. This doesn't seem to be clipping on properly, so I'm probably going to have to glue that together. I can't imagine that we're going to need to take that apart, so I'm going to glue that on the top so it doesn't go anywhere, because it does say clip it on, but it just doesn't clip on. Finally, we're going to just attach the trunk, so make sure that those two go in there. And then using this little hole here, we're going to attach a screw inside. Now that's tightened down, I have glued the end on, it's a lot better. Nice articulation in that, you know. But we're going to just set that aside because we will need it when we move on to number 15. So number 15's just a few electronics, not too much to this one luckily, but we're just going to grab this part to start with. It does face that way round, and then we want this, and it should just attach to the back of that like so. We are going to put a couple of screws in there and then attach it to the head. Now that's done, we're just going to attach it to these two little holes here, so it should sit in there like so. Okay, so now that's in there, we're just going to grab our cable, and we want one end in here and then one end over here. Hopefully no issues, because like I said, I did have some problems with the Sabertooth Tiger and it just doesn't work, and I just felt it when I put the cable in, just didn't feel right. So yeah, be careful with it. I'm not really too sure on what more you can do at that point. All I'd suggest really is just, if you can, just try and test it before you sort of start putting bits locked down once all this is in. And now wires in, hopefully it'll work. We will obviously try our best to test it before I carry on, but yeah, a little bit of a pain. You just don't know whether they're in properly or not, and to me that doesn't look like it's in properly. I've tried it the other way around, I've tried pushing it in more, it just doesn't go in any more than that. So let's just hope for the best as we move on. We're going to start building a Mastodon's neck now. So these are the parts that we're going to need. So firstly, we're going to grab this part along with this and one of these little rubber bits. And quite simply, we're going to pop that on the end there, and that's just going to slide inside here like so. Then we're going to grab the other one and put that onto the other end like this. Before we close that up, we're just going to place that inside there, attach it all together, and then put one screw in there and one at the top here. Now that's all snug down, we're just going to grab one of these metal bits, put it in like so, then attach that on the end, and do the same with the other side. Now we've got part of our neck. That is what you should be left with. We're nearly there, guys. Number 17 now, so we're just going to put together these tusks. I don't believe it requires any screws. It's just all going to be clipping together. So all it does is ask us to grab two halves, and you want one with this part and one without it. So we just push them together. Then we want the end piece to just push on the end like that, and then do the same with the other. If you need to, just apply a little bit of glue on there just to get that to stay on. So I'm going to glue both of them on just to keep them together. Then we have our tusks with a switch, so don't lose this because we're going to need that in a minute when we move on to the next magazine. Okay, back to the Mastodon's head. We have got some more electronic parts to put together, and we're going to need the two bits that we've just done. So grab your two black bits of the Mastodon that we've just done. So you've got the neck and the head. Then we're going to start installing the battery. Now I wanted to test this, so I have actually put the battery in already. I just need to tuck it in, but it just clips in here. And then we want to wrap it with this. So again, like you did on the previous ones, we want to just wrap that around this battery and then slot it in here. So now I've wrapped that around, I'm just going to tuck that in there. And that's pretty much all it's asking us to do for the battery. Like I say, I wanted to test this before I start putting all this together. It does work, so I'm happy with that. And now we're just going to grab this, and it should just slot in this little gap here and here by the metal. And now we've got that, we're going to grab the tusks that we've just made and put them at the bottom. So this one with that clip goes in this side here. Then we're going to grab this and it should close everything down together. Now we've got all that lined up, we're just going to put the screws in the holes. Now that's all tightened down, we're going to move on to this one. So we're going to place the tusk in. Right, if you're following this, I can only apologise, but I've done part of this wrong. I have fixed it now, so you need to make sure that this is facing down, if that makes sense. So this is flat at the top, because if you've got it the other way around, it'll be too big to fit the back of the ear on. I will put a picture later on just to overshow it. So if you're following this step by step, hopefully you've caught the warning before you get to this point, because that was really annoying. But anyway, I'm going to put the switch in the back on now. Right, now I've got that clipped in. It is a huge pain if you're struggling to get it on with keeping the button on, rather than sort of lifting it upside down like that. Put a little bit of tape on, put the button in, then once you've screwed down your things and you've got it all in place, you can remove the tape, because that is horrible and yeah, absolute pain in the bum to get on. I would rather have a little bit of sticky residue on there that I can clean off with a bit WD-40 or something than messing around for hours with that. So I'm just going to put some screws in and then that should be it for the head. Finally, a Mastodon head is done. This has taken me absolutely ages because I've made loads of mistakes on the way. The button inside, definitely use a bit of tape just to hold it on. And then once you've screwed all these bits in, then you can take the tape off. If you take the tape off, once you just put like one screw in, then it will still fall out. But yeah, it works and I'm happy with that. So at the end of that magazine, we should have that and this left over. Now we're going to move on to the final one for this episode. And on to the last magazine of this set, we're going to start the Triceratops head now. It does seem that we're going to be completing the heads first and then we move on to bodies later. It'll be nice once these are done and we can start building little bits just to make more of each dinosaur. This is what we get. First off, we need this little square bit along with the wire from the previous magazine. We're going to place it in like so and then just attach a little screw to the top. Then we're going to grab the inside of our face and put the eye inside. Then taking the bit that we've just made, we want to feed the wire through this little gap and then we're going to attach it to this part here. Then we're just going to grab the outside of our eye. So you should have it faced round that way and slot it in like so. Once we tighten all that down, we're just going to grab this. It slots on the end there and just chuck a screw inside that. Finally, we're just going to make sure our wire's out of there. Then we're going to grab this and it should hold it in place. So you just slot that over the top. And again, a couple more screws just to go in there and we're all done. Finally, we are all finished with our magazines. That just leaves us lots of different heads and things like that. So let's take a quick look at what we've got so far. Okay, finally wrapping up this video. That has taken a long time, I'm not gonna lie. It's I'm probably making it worse by making a video because it does take a lot longer, but I do enjoy it and I do like to share my experiences with you guys. And for all those in the US that didn't get the magazines, or anybody that struggles or makes mistakes like I have in this video, hopefully this will help out so you don't make those same mistakes. But so far we have got from this delivery 2 of these Sabertooth Tiger legs. We got the start of the Triceratops and a huge chunk of the Mastodon done. So this is basically just the entire shield really. We've got a handle at the back. It does light up and it works pretty well. So there we go. Really happy with that. It definitely benefits to check first whether the batteries are working. Like I said, I cannot for the life of me sort that Sabertooth Tiger out. So unfortunately it's going to be one that's I'm going to have to take the hit on the lights. So it is going to look a bit near when they're all lit up. Apart from that, I will probably keep working on it to see if I can get it off. I'm just trying to basically get this part off of the Sabertooth Tiger without actually breaking any of it. So it is difficult. I hope that helped somebody out there anyway. I am going to go and take my mug and go and make a nice cup of English tea. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more, please consider subscribing. I will continue with this video throughout the year and hopefully end this series with a really nice Megazord. But thanks as always for watching and I'll catch you guys soon.